Shalom. We'll get started in just a few moments. All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chakadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father. His true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. In his son's name, who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, real name in the Hebrew is Yahushua. Also give the praises, honor, and glory unto the Hawakai, the Holy Spirit, which is the force and entity that makes this edification possible. I want to say shalom to all you sincere-hearted Akim, Wa'akwat, that's you brothers and sisters make your bodies a living sacrifice on a daily basis in this wicked and adulterous generation. I also want to give double honors unto my beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and who rule well. And I'm the brother Azmawath here from the Great Millstone Dallas camp. Coming back this morning through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah to do another lesson. And this lesson, we're going to get back into the book of Psalms, the 104th chapter. All right, this morning we're going to hit verses 16 through 24. And as you can see the title, it says the manifold works of the Lord. All right, the manifold works of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, you know. And that's what this psalm is going into. It's going into, different, sectors, if you will, of, of the Lord's creation. The beasts of the field, okay, the waters, the trees, mankind, okay. And it goes to show you the omnipotency that Yahweh Bashmal Shah, possesses, meaning he has all power. He has all power over everything, over everybody, over all the creatures. You see, and this goes to show you the power, okay, that we serve, man. And this is why he's greatly to be feared and glorified. So with all that being said, let's get into it again. Psalms 106 and Psalms 104 and verse 16. And also, Lord willing, this will be edifying and comforting to the Lord's elect out there. Psalms 104 and verse 16, it says, the trees of the Lord are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon, which he had planted. Let's read that again. It says, the trees of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmal Shah, are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon, which he had planted. Yeah. And you could look at this face value, because the cedars of Lebanon, well, the trees in Lebanon, the cedars in Lebanon, they were very renowned. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can, I believe I read some information about that not too long ago. Let me see real quick. Cedar, that was a very, precious tree, a tree of high commodity. We use cedar to furnish the temple, Solomon did. Give me 1 second, let me see. If I can't find anything on it relatively quickly, we'll just continue to read. But that was a very important tree. And us men of Israel, we're also likened unto cedar trees. We're likened unto trees. Okay, cedar trees. Okay, it says the seed plants, cedar. So let me go here to plants. Yeah, I'm going through the Zondervan Illustrated Bible Dictionary, just in case you were wondering. It's got a lot of good information in it concerning, different things, that the scriptures talk about. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay, beautiful. Just quickly reading a little bit on cedar. This is from page 1141 under the definition of plants. And it has cedar. It says derived from an old Arabic root meaning a firmly rooted, strong tree. See, that's what it means. Well, at least from old Arabic root meaning a firmly rooted, strong tree. The word denotes a magnificent evergreen. You see, and this is another reason why, okay, us men of Israel, is likened unto cedar trees. Evergreens, they were known, in the ancient world to be immortal, if you will. And that's what the Lord is going to make his men. He's going to make them immortal. You see? Because that's what he's going to make the whole nation of Israel, men, women, and children. All right, it says, it exudes a fragrant gum or balsam used as a preservative for fabric and parchment. It says the wood does not quickly decay and is insect repellent. Cedar wood is of a warm red tone. You see that? It says the wood does not quickly decay. You see, and Yahweh Shema Shah. Okay, this is another. And hey man, he's infinite in his wisdom. When he uses trees and different birds and beasts of the field, to describe people or mankind or whatever situation may be, he does that for a reason. And one of the reasons why the nation of Israel is likened unto the cedar tree, because there's going to be no more decay amongst us. It says the wood does not quickly decay and is not and is insect repellent. Yeah, who's the insects? These other nations, man. It says cedar wood is of a warm red tone, durable, light, and free from knots. It says that though the cedar of Lebanon was once abundant in the Mediterranean region, it is now scarce. And I wonder why. Because you got, Esau, Isaiah the 14th chapter speaks about that feller. Let's get that real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 14. Speaks about that feller or the lumberjack that has just chopped down all these precious trees. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 8. It says, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee. And this is talking about, this chapter is going into the fall of the king of Babylon, who rules Babylon, Esau, Edom. So once this man is broken, once his power is broken from Yahweh Shema Shah, this is what's going to be happening. Verse 8. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. That's right, man. The actual trees, right? They're going to, be back at their state, of once more flourishing. They're no longer going to be scarce. All right. And also, the nation of Israel, the cedars of Lebanon, we're going to be rejoicing that this man, that Yahweh Shema Shah has laid this man down. All right. So let's go back here to Psalms 104 and verse 16. The trees of the Lord are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon, which he had planted. It says, where the birds make their nest. As for the stork, the fir trees are her house. Yeah, it says, where the birds make their nest. As for the stork, the fir trees are her house. And this makes me think about that parable Yahweh Shah gave in Matthew the 13th chapter concerning the kingdom of heaven. That's a lucky for my allergies. This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 31. It says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. That's right. Why is the kingdom of heaven likened to a grain of mustard seed at first? Because it starts off small, And what do Yahweh shall say? That the kingdom of heaven, right, is in you. All right. Talking about in the believers, in us. All right. And right now, all right, this truth of ours, this ministry of ours, as Elder Apostle Kabar says, right, it looks small, has very small, humble beginnings. Okay, we're behind enemy lines. The world doesn't, deem us as Most High sons. Okay, they look at the things that we do, hold camp. Okay, do the videos, put on garments. They look at that as if it's, something laughable and contemptible. That's what people usually do, with things that that's not big, big movements. You see, which even though this is, a big movement, if you will, Ezekiel the 37th chapter. Okay, but in the eyes of the world, this is very small. So it says the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed it in his field. Yeah, and the Lord sowed it. Okay, he sowed this seed inside of us, man. All right, now seed doesn't remain small. It doesn't remain a seed. Eventually, it grows into something. Let's continue to read verse 32. Which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs. You see? So this is what we're growing into. You see, this truth is, hey, we're not going to be digressing. It's only going to be progression and growth from here on out. Isaiah the 9th chapter speaks about, how the increase of his government, there shall be no end. You see? So it says, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. You see, so all these other nations, they're going to flock to us. Just like all these nations, they flock to Esau. You see, they flock to this high tree right now. Okay, well, very soon, okay, all these other nations, they're going to have to come to flock to us, to make their resort, you see, to have their habitation. Even though we're starting out small right now. So, but this just reminded me of what Psalms 104 was going into. Psalms 104 and verse 17. Let's start at verse 16 again. It says, the trees of the Lord are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon, which he had planted, where the birds make their nest. As for the stork, the fir trees are her house. The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats, and the rocks for the conies, you see. And we're going to be the highest hill. You see, Isaiah the 2nd chapter, and all these other nations, these beasts, if you will, they're going to come and resort unto us. All right, but, like I said, you could look at these, as we're reading Psalms 104, you could look at it for face value, of course. But with the Lord's wisdom, there's always, room to extrapolate spiritually. All right, verse 19, it says, he appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. Let's read that again. Because this is a stumbling block, okay, for many Israelites, okay, just simply not understanding what the sun, the moon, the stars, okay, are created for. You see, it says, verse 19, he appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. That's right, man. One thing, that us here at Great Millstone, the Spirit of the Lord, put it upon our apostles, right, to understand. Okay, and to know that the new moon, right, that's the start of the new month, which we predicate and understand that the Shabbat, okay, comes 7 days after that. You see, we don't go off of Esau's calendar. The Lord, the sun, the moon, the stars, okay, that's the Heavenly Father's calendar, see, that he created for us. You see, and the Lord, as we just read right here, Psalms 104:19, he appointed the moon for seasons. You see. Let's grab this here in the book of Genesis. Going back to the origins of things. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14, it says, and the Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. That's right. So the sun, the moon, the stars, was created, okay, for signs, okay, signs for case in point, just like this solar eclipse that we just had a few months ago. Where the Lord, said, when you see particular signs in the heavens, know that the coming of the Lord, right, is nigh. They're for times. They're for indicate time. For certain feast days. The markings of a new month. You see. So let's grab this here in the book of Sirach, the 43rd chapter, famous verse. To bring clarity unto, as we're reading in Psalms 104, as it's mentioned in the moon, declares seasons. Let's get this in Sirach, the 43rd chapter. In Sirach chapter 43 and verse 6, it says, he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and the sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast. You see, from the moon is the sign of feast. Now, What is the Sabbath? The Sabbath is a feast day. Let's grab this here in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, real quick. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 1. And it reads, And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord. All right. And I'm emphasizing that word feast for a reason. Concerning the feast of the Lord Yahweh, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feast. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. In holy convocation you shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord Yahweh in all your dwellings. You see? So the first feast that he mentioned off, that he listed off, was what? The Shabbat, the Sabbath. All right. So with that understanding, knowing that the Sabbath is what? A feast day. Well, what predicates, what declares the feast days? Sirach 43 again in verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast. You see? So we understand, okay, when the Shabbat is, when the Sabbath is, which is a feast day, because of the moon. Not because of Esau's Gregorian, okay, and Julian calendars and all these, because it was prophesied that he was going to change the times. Daniel 7:25. You see? The Lord doesn't change. So he created the sun, the moon, the stars, okay, to be a constant, consistent calendar to where we can tell time, tell his time. All right. Understand, when his holy days are. Okay. And the particular things and judgments that he's going to bring upon the earth. Prime example, just last week, I took pictures of it, man. It was a blood moon. It was like a blood crescent moon for 4 days straight. You see? And we understand a blood moon, that's an ominous sign, letting us know that a lot of judgment's about to come. And there's been a lot of blood moons, man. You see? But people don't understand the sign, and the declaration of the moon. They just look at these things. Oh, look at the moon's red today. They don't understand that this is all the working of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. This is a part of the, as the title of the lesson says, the manifold works of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. And the Lord is always busy. He's always doing things here upon the earth, man. You see? But those that understand his will, okay, well, they're going to understand, what these particular, what's happening up on the earth. The wonders in heaven, okay, the chariots, right, the moon, turning to blood red, okay, the solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, all these particular things. But let me finish this out in Sirach 43 and verse 7. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. See, because, it decreases, starts off, as a new moon, okay, if you consider something new, like say for instance, you had like a blank canvas, to paint on. Well, nobody starts to paint on a canvas that already has, paints on, already has paint and markings on it. You start off with something fresh. So that's the new moon, And as time progresses, as each day progresses, the Lord, he fills it in a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. In the middle of the month is you got a full canvas. And then he starts to, erase it, wane the month. Okay, you have a waning moon. You see, it decreases in her perfection. Right? Because you got IUIC, right? They say that the new moon is the full moon. You can't make it up, man. All right, this is just common sense. All right. It's just common. It's not even doctrine at that point. It's just a matter of if you just have common sense, But common sense hasn't been granted. Let me get this real quick. Common sense hasn't been granted to everyone, man. Clearly, this is Proverbs chapter 2. Just real quick. Proverbs chapter 2 in the NLT, and where is it at? Let me find it real quick. Here we go. Verse 7. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. You see? So if you're honest in the things that you teach, in your motives, well, the Lord will give you common sense to where you just don't stumble over simple things such as the new moon. That's common sense. Everybody, knows the new moon is, when it's blank. You see? when it's dark, when you look up in the sky and you don't see a moon, that's the new moon. All right, but you have the IUIC saying that the new moon is the full moon. You see, it says he grants a treasure of common sense to the honest, and they're not honest over there, man. They're mocking the names of Yahweh Bashmal Shah. One day they'll say Yahweh Bashmal Shah, and the next day they just scoffing at the names. You see, it says he's a shield to those who walk with integrity. You see, so let me finish this out in Sirach, the 43rd chapter, Sirach 43:8. The month is called after her name. You see, why did it say that? Because the word month, the etymology of that word literally means what? Moon. Let me prove that real quick. So yeah, this is how we understand when the Sabbath is, when all these particular, feast days are, when the beginning of the month is. It's predicated off the moon. This is the Lord's, heavenly time clock. All right. So moon on the online etymology dictionary. So like I meant to go into month. Let me type in month. So this word month on the online etymology dictionary, it says one of the 12 parts into which the calendar year is arbitrarily divided. Okay, it says, look, let me zoom in for you. I'm going to show the camera. What does it say? I got it highlighted. It says moon. You see? So the word month, means moon. So you understand when the beginning of the month is whenever there's a new moon, new month. All right? It's that simple, man. It's nothing complicated. The simplicity that's in Yahweh Shah. All right? Sirach 43:8. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing. That's right. So as it changes, okay, after the new moon, it starts to increase, called what? The waxing phase. You have the waxing gibbous, a waxing crescent, It says, being an instrument, meaning a tool of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. That's right, man. So let's go back here to Psalms 104, verse 19. It reads, he appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. Yeah, and the Lord has all these things happening upon, laws of nature, upon an ordinance. The sun is going to come out every day and then it's going to go back down, And this is how we know that the seed of Israel is still here. Because he said, if those ordinances depart from me, then the seed of Israel will depart from me. But that's not going to be the case, man. I'm looking out my window right now, out of the living room, and the sun is up. It happened yesterday morning, happened morning before that, And the Lord grants us to wake up tomorrow. It's going to happen again. You see? This is the time clock that the Lord put down here for us to understand. All right, to understand what time and what seasons we're in. All right, Psalms 104 and verse 20. It says, thou makest darkness, and it is night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. And this is spiritual too, because we're in the night season, and you got all these beasts, all these different nations, man. They're just running rampant, especially Esau, Edom. Knowing that this. Hey, let me grab that in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. Like I said, we could look at it for face value, which these things happen. When the sun goes down, you have all these different critters, in the woods and the forest. These nocturnal animals. These night hunters. Your owls. Your foxes. Your lions. They as I just read, it says they creep forth. But like I said, just spiritually looking at it. Okay, with this being the night season, you got all these beasts, these other nations. They're likened unto beasts. Well, they're creeping forth. You see, they're making a tumult right now. But once the morning comes, Yahweh Shah, okay, they're all gonna be going back to their dens and caves, man. You see, spiritually speaking, they're gonna be in subject unto us. But let me grab this real quick. Well, that's all right. Going back to Psalms 104 and verse 21, it says, the young lions roar after their prey and seek their meat from the Most High. You see, even sometimes the young lions, they don't even eat. A lion, he doesn't eat every day. You see, he looks into, his maker to eat. He don't know if he's going to eat today or tomorrow or the day after. but the Lord takes care of them. You see, and this is why we don't have any need to fear. Just as the Lord, feeds the beasts of the field, okay, the fowls of the heavens, all right, the fish, all right, well, he's going to feed his elect in times of trouble. Let me grab this. I believe it's Psalms 34. Yep, here we go. This is Psalms chapter 34. In verse 9, it says, "Oh, fear Yahweh B'Shem Shai, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger." You see, the young lions, okay, they lack sometimes. They lack from, getting the meal every day. They don't eat every day. It says they and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Shai shall not want any good thing. See? So just as the young lions, they look unto their maker, okay, to eat. That's how we're doing. You see? And Lord willing, all right, he continues to take care of us. As long as we seek the kingdom first, as he just said, those that seek the Lord, all right, they shall want, no good thing. Well, what do Yahweh shall tell us? This is Matthew 6:33. It says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High, and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." You see? So going back to Matthew, it's like Psalms 104 and verse 22, it says, "The sun ariseth, they gather themselves together and lay them down in the dens." Talking about those young lions. Once the sun comes up, they scurry off back into their dens, and wait until the nighttime comes again so they go try to find some more food. All right, verse 23. "Man goeth forth into his work, and to his labor until the evening." Let's read that again, because we know this all too well. All right, it says, "Man goeth forth unto his work," and this is going into the manifold, works of the Lord. The Lord is very dynamic. He has a lot of moving parts. He has a lot of moving parts in the heavens where he is. You got the angels, the 24 elders, the beasts, up there. Then you got the universe, all these different planets, galaxies, Milky Ways, Then you got it here upon planet Earth. The Lord got a lot of moving parts. This is the manifold works and wisdom of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. All right, verse 23. "Man goeth forth unto his work, and to his labor until the evening." Yeah, and this is part of the curse of the sons of God. All right, having to work by the sweat of our brow. But as we're doing it, he told us to not hate. Let's first get that. We're not supposed to hate laborious work. It's irksome, all right, but we understand that we did this to ourselves, man. It gets annoying, but it's teaching us a lesson. It's teaching the sons of God a lesson. All right, this is Sirach chapter 4. Sirach chapter 7. And let me see if I can find it. Here we go, verse 15. It says, "Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High have ordained." That's right, he's ordained it. The Lord created, laborious work, and husbandry, farming, tilling the earth. You see? So let me get this real quick in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Genesis 3, verse 19. And let's see. And this is part of the curse, after. As a matter of fact, let me just start at verse 17. This is when the Lord was, telling Adam and Eve, the curse that they're going to have to go through now, because Eve listened to the serpent and Adam listened to his woman. All right. Genesis 3 and verse 16. It says, "Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception." Yeah, and this is why, you women, y'all have those birth pains. It looks like y'all about to give up the ghost, when y'all in conception, when y'all giving birth. But this is a part, of that curse. In the kingdom of heaven, it's not going to be like that. It's going to feel very pleasurable, to bring forth, sons and daughters of the Most High, man. All right, it says, "In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee." Let me read that in the NLT. Genesis 3:16. Then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth, and you will desire to control your husband. See, that's the curse right there. Our women desiring to try to control their men. You see, checking their phones. What time? You say you're going to be home at 8 o'clock. Why you here at 8:05? You see, what you was doing. You see, just, trying to, keep tabs, micromanage. You see? See, all that shit, that's a curse, man. All right? And that's brought nothing but confusion and broken homes in this earth, man. All right? So that's the curse. It says, and you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. That's right. Just like Adam was supposed to have done. He should have, ruled over Eve. Like, nope, I ain't listening to you, But it is what it is. And if we were there, we would have done the same thing Adam did, man. That's just what it is. Because Jake's still listening to his woman right now. You see? It says, you would desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you. Verse 17, and to the man he said, and this is still the NLT, and to the man he said, since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat, the ground is cursed because of you. All your life you will struggle to scratch a living from it. Ooh, see? And what Jake say in the world, man, I'm just trying to get by. I'm just scraping these pennies together, man. Man, bro. See, that's the curse, man. The sons of God having to work. And like off that movie, I reference it all the time, Coming to America. Here, Hakeem, he was a prince. And once his father, came, from Zamunda, all right, he came over there to Queens to try to find his son. He found out that he was working at McDowell's. He was mad as hell. It was like, my son works. You see? Because that's a curse, man. You a prince, and we're the princes of the power. Yasha Allah, man. He has, he prince power, man. All right. And we're over here working. All right. But it's because of the curse, that we're under right now. You see, but let me read this again. And to the man, he said, since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat, the ground is cursed because of you. All your life you will struggle to scratch a living from it. It will grow thorns and thistles for you. Though you will eat its grains, by the sweat of your brow will you have food to eat. That's right, man. And the Lord is absolutely right about that, of course. You see, especially out here in Texas, man. As soon as I go out to work, you be out there for 5 minutes out there in that Texas heat. You already just drenched. And this is how you got to make your living, man. You see? It says, by the sweat of your brow you will have food to eat until you return to the ground from which you were made. Yeah, and they got this saying in the world, two things are certain. I believe, 2 or 3 things are certain. You born. Yeah, 3 things are certain. You're born, all right, you work, you pay taxes, and you die. That's 4 things. You see, you're born, you work, you pay taxes, and you die, man. You see, and that is a curse. We're paying taxes. Okay, we're giving tribute unto our enemy, Esau, Edom, man. All right, this damn devil. And then you die. And then you go back to the earth after that, man. See, this is the curse that Yahweh Shah, okay, is coming back to liberate, okay, the elect from. You see? And ultimately it's going to be, for all the nation of Israel, man. Isaiah the 14th chapter, we're going to rule over those that ruled over us. So yeah, that completes Genesis. Yeah, what we want to get on Genesis. So let me grab this here in 2 Thessalonians real quick. Because even though this is a curse that we're under, this is the time we got to work, man. Work. You see? It's all about work, man. You putting work in it. First and foremost, this truth is our primary occupation, man. All right, and we basically work these little petty jobs, okay, to sustain us just so we could do the work of the Lord. All right, get our daily bread. But our main occupation is working for Yahweh Bashmal Shah. What did Yahweh Shah tell his mother? Okay, when Mary came looking for him. Let me get that real quick in Luke, the 2nd chapter. This is Luke chapter 2 and verse Luke 2 Let's see here. Here we go. This is Luke chapter 2 and verse 48. And when they saw him, they were amazed. Talking about his parents, Joseph and Mary, because they were looking for Yahushua. He went missing for a little bit, all right. But where was he? He was in the temple, all right, dealing with the answering all the questions, from the Levites and and the Sadducees and all right. He says, and when they saw him, they were amazed, and his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I, and that also proves that Joseph, right, was Yahushua's actual biological father, man. He came from the seed of Joseph. You see? She says, thy father and I have besought thee sorrowing. So they were sad. They were looking for Yahushua. They ain't know if they lost him or not. It says, verse 49, and he said unto them, how is it that you sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business? You see? So Yahushua was all about the Heavenly Father. It still is all about the Heavenly Father's business, man. You see? He understood that was his occupation. You see, now, and as he grew up, his carnal earthly occupation was what? A carpenter. You see, being a carpenter, under the occupation of his father Joseph. But Yahushua's main business, main occupation was what? His heavenly father's, all right? The true father, all right? The Most High's business, man. And that's us. We may have, brothers may have, different, trades that they're into. Certain brothers are plumbers. Some brothers, locksmiths. Some brothers, carpenters. Okay, electricians. Brick masons, general contractors. But what? Our ultimate and main occupation is Yahweh Bashem Shai's business, man. Pushing his word. You see, being priests, being ministers. All right. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 10. And it reads, this is the Apostle Paul, okay, exhorting and admonishing and warning the church of Thessalonica, because you had a lot of, Jake back then. They didn't want to work. You see, and you got certain niggas, okay, that's so called the truth that's like that now. They don't want to work. You see, they just want to just mooch off of these women, mooch off of Big Mama, okay, Big Shirley, okay. They just want to just have some fucking handouts, man. No, be a man. Gird up yourself like a man. We just read in Sirach the 7th chapter, don't hate laborious work. Yeah, it gets annoying. Hell yeah. But you just got to bite down, man. Deal with the shit. All right, understand we're part of the curse, and this is why we're seeking the kingdom first, man, so Yahushua can come liberate us from it. But in the meanwhile, we're supposed to deal manfully and work. All right, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. And you see? So if you're not putting work in this truth, and if you're not out there, getting a living for yourself, all right, well, you shouldn't eat. You see? And because like we said, with these jobs that the Lord has given us, is to give us our daily bread, sustain ourselves, and also to help the church. Because there may be times, well, not maybe, but there are times where other believers, they fall on hard times. So we put a collection together and help the brother out. So, but if you're not working, well, you can't contribute to that, man. You just dead fucking weight. All right. So the Lord got us. He has a manifold system going on. This truth is way more than just learning breakdowns. All right, learning precepts and going to camp. No, man, that's a part of it for sure. That's a big part of it. Okay, but then, you have other responsibilities we got to take care of while we're under these curses. You see? Psalms 104, and all this is teaching the sons of God a lesson, man, making us, be more appreciative, of what we're about to receive and what we've already received. You see, because, when the Lord gave Adam the kingdom from the get-go, he didn't appreciate it like that. It was just given unto him. But now we got to work for it, man. You see? So Psalms 104 and verse 24, last verse, it says, O Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai, how manifold are thy works. Let's get that word manifold, because we've been saying it a lot in this lesson. Let's just get it real quick. Manifold says many, various, numerous, multiple, various, diverse, abundant. Yeah, man. Yeah, the Lord, he has even though, he's, he's given us this truth, and it's simple, but a part of this truth, there's a lot of, manifold, there's a lot of different and various, works of the Lord that goes along, with it, man. You see? But it's a simple algorithm, if you will, just like in math. You may have, you may be in, calculus or trigonometry class or whatnot, and you deal with all those, confusing, numbers and formulas. But you can all break it down into your times table, okay, and then to your addition, subtraction, and it's all broken down into a simple, algorithm. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. So even though the Lord's works are manifold, okay, it's still simple when you understand the milk of things. The basics. So it says, verse 24, Psalms 104 and 24, O Lord, how manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. That's right, man. You see? And when we, speak about the works of the Lord, there's really, no way we can speak about it worthily, because the Lord is out there. He's very out there, man. Just look at certain, some of his creation, like an octopus. That thing's like it's from another planet, But that's a part of his manifold works. There's a scripture here in Sirach, the 16th chapter I'm looking for. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Sirach 16 and verse 20. No heart can think upon these things worthily, meaning no mind. It says, and who is able to conceive his ways? You see? Yeah, man, because the Lord, he's out there. He's, he has a lot of different moving parts. And this is, again, as we stated, this is the power we serve, and this is why he's to be greatly feared and to be greatly, magnified and glorified. You see, so yeah, that completes Psalms 104 verses 16 through 24. Once again, the title of the lesson was the manifold works of the Lord. So Lord willing, you Akim and Akwat were edified. Till next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Chakwadash. I want to give double honor to our beloved apostle, elders of Great Millstone, Muaf Lababal, Shalom.